You there? Grizz, you're on mute.
Can you hear me now, people?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
I think I'm live. I hope I'm live. Are we here, people? Can you hear me? Can we get some? No, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, take over for 2 minutes. Let me just set up very quickly. Just take over for 2 minutes.
Okay, no worries. All right, guys. By myself here, takeover. Hey. All right, guys. Just quickly put in the comments who impressed you out of the kids. Who impressed you today out of the kids? For me, I have a few. But when Doak came on as well, whoa, very impressive. Who do you guys think was your top young player today? Put it down in the comments, and then we can just like do a quick dissection of them. Ramsay, Ramsay Doak. Yeah. Ramsay. I'm getting Ramsay's here. Ramsay Doak. Bajcetic. Yeah, you know what? All those plus if I put Carvalho in, but he's not like he's a little bit more of a high profile than those guys, but Doak. Fearless, guys, fearless. He came on, he did not give a damn. He wanted the ball 24/7. He wanted to take on a man. Guys, he's looking scary, Doak. He's looking scary. And what's his name? Bajcetic? Is it Bajcetic? Wow. Calm. Even though his penalty as well was, what is it? The guy cheated. Did you see the keeper come off his line? Like,
Am I here? Can you hear me?
yes.
People, I'm so sorry. Welcome. Let's add Ramsay. Let's get the show going, man. People, Noor, I hope you didn't get too nervous while I was away. I'm so sorry. A
Now
few
you're gonna see
issues.
it's the best bit.
Okay, was that the best bit? Yeah. People, listen. Belated welcome to post-match carnage. Liverpool, light work, easy work, making the Kelleher Cup our very own cup from the off. Welcome everyone in the chat. Sorry, I had a few issues to start off with, but Noor, the professional, was there. He was there. Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Cav's talking about Nerve, take over, bruv. He took over. You know what I mean? Just like Kelleher was just watching for like 95 minutes, right, at Anfield, and then thought, you know what? Come penalty shootout, let me take over. You know what I mean? Noor thought, yeah, man, let me take over. Of course, welcome, Noor. Rams, welcome. First time on my channel. Hope you're doing well, my brother.
Yeah, I'm really happy. Obviously, this result, it was a tough watch at times, but the most important thing is that we're through to the next round. That's all that I care about. And
yeah, I mean, let's get into it. I mean, I don't even know. Of course, we care that we're into the next round, but I know what you mean by that. But if we take it back to the start, no, that team selection suggests to me Klopp was 50-50 about caring, bro. What are you saying?
Yeah. The lineup kind of surprised me as well. I was thinking we'll get at least a little bit more senior players in there, but you can't blame him with the condensed schedule and him probably scared to play some players that might get injured for the World Cup. I think it was inevitable, but you know what? As long as we get to see some of these kids, some of these guys we'll probably talk about later on in the next few rounds, it's going to be very, very interesting for us.
Yeah, I mean, look, what do you think about the lineup? Ram, like, look, we expected changes. We expected wholesale changes. Did we expect a full 11 changed?
no.
And not only that, completely left out. Like Salah was completely left out. Virgil was completely left out. Trent, I believe, was completely left out.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of that?
I was completely surprised.
Really?
The majority of the squad was around about, what was it? 6 of them were under 21, which is unforeseen. Like, I know Derby are in the third tier of English football. They obviously, some say, unluckily got relegated in the Championship, but that's football. But I was incredibly surprised. I didn't think Klopp would go that mad. because you think about it, that starting front three is a bunch of kids. No experience, no. I mean, Fabio has played in big games, but again, he's still a kid. Even at midfield, two of them are youth players, and then you got Ox, who's just come back from an injury. It's like, I was really, really surprised. I think the back five picked themselves. I think more or less everyone got it spot on. Everyone thought Ramsay will play. Everyone thought Kelleher, Phillips, Gomez, and Simi will play. But the midfield three, front three, completely surprised. Some of them surprised me, but we'll get into that later. But yeah.
I mean, look, everyone is saying we got the first super chat of the night, and Shabazz says Doak is incredible. He has no fear. What a talent. We're gonna get into that because he comes on in what minute? The 60. No, he comes on at the end. But we will speak about Ben Doak. Shabazz, relax, calma. I will read your super chat. Of course, I will read it. We will speak on Doak. Doak is my guy. Don't worry about that. I could do a whole show on Ben Doak. People know. People that have been following me on my socials know what I think about Ben Doak, and I was so happy that he was named in the squad first, Noor. And Ram's right. We done a prediction show last night, and we done a preview of the show game last night. I don't know if you watched it, and I said to them, I don't want anyone major near the team. The only person that I was half angling for a start out of the big boys, like when I say big boys, I don't mean the best players, but the senior pros, was maybe Henderson, maybe just for just for 60 minutes or so. But he completely bamboozled us with the lineup. As Ram says, Leighton Stewart making his debut, Bobby Clark making his debut, Carvalho was expected to play. These are the kind of games he's going to play. Ramsay makes his full debut, which was expected, and then Frondorf, who's been in and out of the he was very much part of the pre-season squad. He's been in and out of first team training, so he's been with the first team training. The game starts off just like we anticipate when you make a lineup like that, when you pick a team like that, right? There was nothing much to talk about apart from, for me, Calvin Ramsay. Noor.
Yeah, you broke up there. What did you say?
Sorry, which part? For me, the whole game, that opening half was all about Calvin Ramsay impressing. That's just what I took of it. The rest was totally expected.
Yeah. That him and I had a keen eye on him, Bajcetic and Carvalho, and all those three were doing well in the game, especially the first half. Ramsay, he doesn't look like he's phased by the game. He looks like he's just a natural guy. There was no nerves about him. He was cutting back in when he needed to, and then he did an early left foot shot, which showed me the guy is confident. And him, Bajcetic, if that's the way you pronounce it, and Carvalho. Carvalho obviously looked like he usually looks. I'm sometimes surprised why he doesn't get a little bit more game time in the first team, but yeah, Ramsey's looking like a really good. Well, so far, fingers crossed that he's be a really good backup for Trent.
Yeah, I'm not gonna wax lyrical too much about him because honestly I could speak about two of those players all night. Well, maybe I am. I'm in love with Ramsay. I'm in love with Calvin Ramsay. Calvin Ramsay is one of those guys that I don't know what I mean by this, so help me out. He looks like a natural footballer. What does that mean? What does a natural footballer look like? I don't know. So help me out, guys. Ram, take it away. If you can help me out, that'd be wonderful. Because to me, he's got at such young age. Noor alluded to it. He looks fearless. That's the first sign of a great potential player. Fearlessness. And we're going to get on to other people that look fearlessness. He wasn't afraid to get the ball in any situation. He was asking for the ball off his centre back every time. He was playing alongside Nat Phillips, who's not the most technically gifted, right, as well. In forward positions, as soon as he took that shot, I thought, yeah, he's not afraid. You know, cutting inside when he had to, pinging the ball when he had to. I'm in love with Calvin Ramsay. I know we haven't seen enough of him, but I've seen enough of him leading up to our transfer and bits and bobs that I think he's the truth, and I'm ready to die on this hill, Ram.
first things I got to say, he's deceptively quick, which is, I was very surprised. He doesn't look like the quickest player, but he is very deceptively quick. He can get up and down the pitch, and he can catch up with a lot of the Derby players. I know they're not the quickest, but it's still something to be happy about. I think when you talk about football, is the most important thing for me is how good are you on the ball? Are you comfortable with it? And he looks comfortable as hell. He likes to do his little shimmies, his little cutbacks, his little Cruyff turns, a little Ronaldo chops here and there. He doesn't look too phased, and he doesn't look a bit uncomfortable on the ball. And another big factor I really love in a player, two-footed. He could use his left foot. His left foot is not a standing foot. He actually can pass the ball with his left foot. Sorry. When in terms of things that disappointed me was his end product. I expected a bit more, but then again, it is his first start. I'm not going to expect too much, but that will get better in time. When he starts to become more in the mold of what Klopp wants and what this Liverpool team is, his delivery will get better. But for now, he looks fearless. He's comfortable on the ball, deceptively quick, decent defender as well. He had a couple of moments where he had to be on top of his defensive game, and he proved that he was. All in all, a solid performance. Something to grow from, which I'm very, very excited about.
100%. I think we've got a bit of ruffling noise from your microphone. Maybe it's rubbing against your beard or something. I don't know what it is, but I don't know if maybe I can only hear it. But Ram's spot on, man, about this guy. And yeah, look, he's going to get better. His final ball's going to get better. You got to remember the strike force he's playing with. He probably never played with them. Maybe the odd under 21-3 game or under 21 game, no, but his composure. You can see why we wanted him. You can see why we're willing to pay, whatever fee we needed to, in terms of, even though he's a young player, we still were willing to wait for him and go to a tribunal if needed, because we knew what we're getting. You can just see the makings of something special here.
Yeah, you could. One thing I liked about him specifically was, as you alluded to, was like demanding the ball. Like usually when someone's making their debut and they're that young, they usually they try to hide sometimes, don't make mistakes. That's what's in their heads. This guy's not. He wasn't even thinking anything like that. He was thinking, let me affect the game. I need to affect the game, and I need to make a name for myself here. And sometimes, actually most of the times, all the top players, they start off like that. They start off like, I wouldn't call it arrogance, but certain confidence.
Confidence. Confidence.
Yeah, I belong here, and he showed that he belongs here. He showed that we could hopefully, if he keeps developing and goes in the right way, that he can actually give Trent a run for his money. Sometimes, we've been asking for someone to give Trent that kick up the backside sometimes when he doesn't perform defensively, and this guy could be the guy that answers it.
100%. We've got a couple of super chats that I want to get through before we crack on. No, but you do know Fabio's a 10 on a left winger. LFCR 786 says we will discuss that right now. Silver Spring says Ben Doak, remember the name, brother. If anybody forgets that name, I'll be very disappointed, because I never enough mention it 3 times a week. Shane McGee sending a super chat. Bajcetic. See, there you go. Listen to Ram. Don't listen to me, but definitely don't listen to Noor, because Noor smashed up that name when he tried to say it earlier.
I killed it. It's too many letters that don't belong to each other.
Ram,
I think his dad is Bajcetic. I think his dad is Croatian or Serbian. One of the Serbian. From the old Balkans.
Yeah. So yeah, he's Serbian. Shane says Bajcetic. Yeah, me and Ram are right, close. You learn. And Doak all look like proper players. Carvalho needs to play more centrally to get the most out of his quality. Good result, he says. I think that's pretty much. I think we agreed with all of that. I'm not sure if you disagree with any of that, Ram, because let's start getting into sort of the other performances. But that first half, not much to talk about. Nothing happened. We puffed. I liked the energy from the young lads. We literally weren't troubled at the back. They had nothing to do. Whatever they had to do was very simple. Gomez and Phillips. I didn't particularly like some of Gomez's weight of pass. It seemed like he's overhitting them. He done that blind pass again where he went out for a corner. I expected more from Ox. These are all things that we have to speak on, Ram, right?
We can't sugarcoat it. Like, it's those. So especially the Joe. And I don't like talking about it, but the blind passes from Joe Gomez. On another day, it will cost us. We've seen it before. We saw it at Leeds. I can't physically tell him to stop doing it. But it's stuff like that is the reason why he's fourth choice for us, and why people believe there's a significant gap between Konate and him. It's just stupid stuff like that. And Nat, we always knew that Nat wasn't physically. He's not prepped for the high line, and he's an okay passer of the ball, but nothing special compared to the likes of Konate, Matip, or even Verge. Well, no one's the same as Verge. Let's be real. But again, not really bothered, not really challenged. There was a couple of shaky moments, like little bobbles here and there, rebounds and deflections. But other than that, it was pretty routine. Kelleher pretty much had nothing to do this whole game. So yeah, on another day it could have been worse, but we take them. That's how I see it.
I mean, look, let's just say it definitely wasn't a classic. I think Leighton Stewart has a chance, doesn't he? Where he initially wins the ball very, very quickly from a press, plays it out to Cavalier, who gives him a return. And it's a bit of an awkward finishing, isn't it? No, it's not the easiest. Leighton Stewart's got a very good reputation of being a very calm, cool, calculated killer in the box. This one was a bit leaning back. He's a young kid. He was going to miss that. The one I didn't enjoy was our left backs get into some amazing positions. Our left backs do everything right, except when it comes down to hitting the target. Tsimikas, ball comes out to Tsimikas. He hits the target, it's a goal. What is it with our left backs? And you can forgive the young kid, right?
Yeah. It's this exact same thing I was discussing with another Liverpool fan was how we lack a little bit of composure at the left back positions in an attacking sense. Whenever either if it's Robertson, sometimes when it's even a cross, like when he goes to the byline and he should be just taking another touch and looking up, see who's available, and he just tries to whip it in with power rather than just picking out a man. Or sometimes where he tries to go for a shot with power and instead of just picking a spot and going there. It's annoying. But it's something that we have to accept, because like their price tag was that for a reason. They didn't have the whole package, and they'll never have the whole package. And in order to get someone that has the whole package is going to be very expensive. So Robbo's got he's got the energy. Tsimikas has got the calmness about him, where he can use both feet a lot more than Robbo, and can play probably if we end up utilizing an inverted fullback system, where Tsimikas can easily slot into that system. But yeah, those are those moments. Sometimes you just need the composure we're lacking, and hopefully.
Do you know what I wish? And look, we can always talk about players from previous teams that would suit this team down to a grand, and everyone talks about Gerrard being the most obvious. But here's a wild take. Not wild, sorry. Here's a take that not usually people
I think I know what you're talking about, Grizz. I think I know who you're talking about.
Oh, it'd be amazing. You know what? You'll be goated if you work this out. I'll rate you, bro. I'll rate. Hold on, this is tense. Wow. Okay, so you think you know what I'm gonna say? Go on then, hit us with it. Because I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be honest, and I'll tell you who I was thinking of. Go on, Ram.
There's two players I'm thinking of right now.
Okay, no problem. I'll give you 3.
So For me, the first one will be Risa. Was it him?
Nope.
The second one was Fabio Aurelio.
Fabio Aurelio.
Yeah.
Fabio Aurelio. If we're talking composure, if we're talking players with intelligence and brain, if we take away his fragile body, that brittle body that used to break down every 2-3 games, people that haven't seen Fabio, maybe the younger generation haven't seen Fabio Aurelio play for us, but Fabio Aurelio was elite levels. Fabio Aurelio was the Trent of his time, people. Left-footed Trent. Shit, that's a sick shout from me, actually.
That is. Do you remember he's the one
that left foot,
that goal against Chelsea?
Yeah,
where he went to.
That's pure intelligence right there. That's pure intelligence.
Pure intelligence. LFCR 786 sends in the super chat. He says we need to talk about Joe. If someone offers 40 million, we should take it. Ramsay seems a good enough Trent backup, so he's not needed at right back. Now find another Khanage out there in Europe for his replacement. I love Joe Gomez. I love Joe Gomez. Fourth choice centre back. I don't think we can turn down 40 million. If we got 40 million for him, I trust our scouts to find a centre back, younger centre back, who would be willing possibly to be a squad rotational centre back in the region of 15 to 20 million pound. If it meant moving on Joe Gomez, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Come on.
Maybe I've changed my mind because about a month ago I was on the Joe Gomez hype. I thought he's turned the corner, but we're operating at such an elite level now. We're trying to operate at such an elite level. Just too much lapse of concentration for me.
Grizz, we got the money now. Come on, no 20 million defenders anymore.
What we saying? Matthias de Ligt.
You know who I would go for, because I tweeted this after the Ajax game, and I said that Timber is everything that we hoped Joe Gomez to be.
Too short.
Aggressive. Like
I get it.
Aggressive. Comes in, can play out the back. Guys.
Do you know why I wouldn't go for that? Because I think we already got that with Konate. I think we need someone who's a little bit more reserved. That's why I said De Ligt. I think De Ligt and Konate would be a partnership.
As a future partnership?
But, but realistically, look, De Ligt's at Bayern, he's just gone there. We wouldn't really go for him, target him now. But there is, look, I trust him. The main thing is Joe Gomez has signed a new deal. We've had the best years for him. Right, we've had the best moments with him. I just don't know. Is it his? This is the one I want, people, and this is some shout, but not a lot of people know this. He's actually Per Schurz. It's not Peter Schurz.
Yeah.
This guy is a monster. We liked him a lot from Ajax, but he's actually gone to Torino. Yeah, that's the one. Rowan's corrected.
Between those two, it was Skurs and Botman that I wanted before Konate
came. You corrected me and Noor in terms of pronunciations. I'm about to correct you now. It's Schurz, not Skurs. Yeah.
Oh,
Skurs, Skurs is you're thinking about chicken skewers and lamb skewers. Yeah. This brother's Schurz, Per Schurz. Yeah, that's how you say it. But
a little bit more class.
But listen, Joe Gomez debate, man. I still got to learn how to do a poll in my chat. People, you know me, man. I ain't about that technology. Noor's going to teach me afterwards, hopefully. But I would do a poll right now. I would do a poll right now to say sell or keep Joe Gomez. It'll be interesting. It'll be made mad reactionary because you know what it's like. People think straight away. But it'll be interesting. Just used to. Would you sell or keep?
I would sell Joe Gomez only because I think he's got all the tools in his ability. But I'm sorry that for me it's the aggression and the love for defending is not there for me. He doesn't take pride in shutting a man off. Sometimes, like today when he was protecting the ball for shepherding it to go out of play, and I was like in my head I was like, yeah, just give him like a little elbow to show him that you mean business here. But he's a bit like the Napoli game is where I just thought, nah, done. The Napoli game.
Was that his Lovren game for you?
Yeah, that was exactly the Lovren game. When I saw him, like he had the ball under control, but then the guy just took it off him. I think it was the I'm not going to try and pronounce his name. The guy that begins with a K.
Kavara.
When he took his, is that how you pronounce it, Kavara?
That's his nickname.
That's nickname. Just Sean, ain't it?
All right, yeah, Kavara. When the Kavara took the ball off him, that's when I thought, nah, Joe Gomez can't survive at Liverpool now.
Channel member Gersh says keep as fourth choice centre back at his level is great. This is the hard part, isn't it, Rams? Like, we're blessed to have him. He'd be a fourth choice, but if you take into consideration Matip's injury scenario and possibly his age now as well, and Virgil's, maybe it would be wiser to bring in more robust, reliable, someone who can actually be of the level more closer to Khanage and Matip now, as opposed to Gomez, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I 100% get what you're saying. I would preferably, I don't like to say this, but injuries tore him apart.
It did, man. It's so sad.
Especially at the age that he was, because you're thinking defenders, they're still learning the game. They're not like strikers where you have to be at that level when you're around about 22, 23. You have to show a bit about you. For defenders, you got a lot more time, but the time where it was around about 23, 24, going up to 25, getting injuries the way he did, your understanding and learning of the game as a centre-back, you miss that. And now we're showing, because a lot of the time is it's naivety, and that's just down to injuries tore him apart and didn't give him that opportunity to learn from some of the mistakes that he made. So I don't like it. He's a London boy. Obviously, we want our London boys. I mean, for me, I want my London boys who represent Liverpool to do well, but I think it might be the end of the road for him. I would have said 100% sell this summer if Sepp Vandenberg didn't get his injury, because I've been watching a couple of Schalke games and he looked quite decent until he got injured. Until that, you think he snapped his knee or did something to his knee, which is like a 4-month injury. So
that's a very good shout. I think that's a very good shout. Vandenberg is a player that the coaching staff have got high aspirations for. They have. He didn't start off. In fact, when we first signed him, I was one of those foolish reactionary takes where I said this guy won't ever play for Liverpool in a senior league game. He still may not, actually. So I haven't been proven wrong, right? But the improvement that I saw, especially at his time at Preston, I know it's only at Preston, but the versatility he showed, the game intelligence shows, and the speed he showed, like he developed physically, he became more active. He became an active centre-back as opposed to just a big lumberjack type. That I thought, what is this? What have we signed? But then I saw why they called him Mini Stam. You know what I mean? They call, there's some people over there in Holland call him Mini Stam. But look, enough about sort of the negatives. I mean, I guess we can maybe touch on the other youngsters. Did anyone really impress you, Noor, in that first half? Not really for me, but I don't know. Maybe someone's shown for you.
I don't know. I was going to ask you guys. Do you think what was it? Bajcetic, yeah, Bajcetic. He's
but just call him Badge.
Badge.
Call him Badge.
He reminds me of Harman, the way his style of handling himself with the ball.
Oh, I like it. I like that.
He's very calm on the ball for such a young guy, and some of the times, where you think he almost loses the ball and you think that he might panic, but then sticks out a leg and manages to bring the ball back in control and then goes again. And I just loved his passing from wide areas, from central areas into wide areas, straight to the man's feet. None of this long floaty balls. It was straight, boom, zipped in. And yeah, he impressed me a lot because I was just looking at how he handles for midfield to succeed in midfield. You got to show a lot of composure and you got to show a lot of game intelligence, and his movement off the ball, it was really impressive for me.
Interesting. I do like that comparison to Didi Hamann. You know that. I really like that actually. I think it was. I think it was slightly underwhelming, but maybe I'm being harsh. Yeah, I'm being harsh. So I'll take that back. Because he's playing in a makeshift team. He's playing with makeshift forwards, and all of that. I think he's got potential. I'm undecided. And as most people are, I'm sure no one thinks that's our number 6 for years to come. We like him. He's got potential. He's showing bits. I like that Didi Hamann comparison. I think he's far quicker than Didi Hamann, far quicker. But I do like that because he does a lot of sideways passing with the side of his foot.
Yeah.
Didi Hamann wasn't the greatest long passer, and I don't think Bajcetic is the greatest long passer as well. But his horizontal passes and with the sole of his foot, there's a distinct comparison there.
Do you know what I love about him? It's his vision. Even though like the long passes didn't come off, he still had the vision for like just to look up, see who's there, and just try and ping it to across the pitch. I think that was my main standout. Is that some of the passes didn't work, some of them were pretty poor, but at least he had the awareness and the vision just to look up, see who's there, and just ping as far as he could. And in a young player, you don't really see a lot of young players just having that one look and then just letting go of the ball. And that's why I'm like, this guy could be a little bit of a player. He could be a little bit of a player. The Didi Hamann comparisons, obviously, I wish he was a little bit taller. He's only about 5'11", 5'10".
He's still growing.
He's still growing.
He's still growing.
How old is he? He's
17.
17.
Let's stop. Let's all collectively stop. Let's stop. Yeah, let's stop. He's 17. Stop. Let's stop. No, I mean it. Let's stop. 892 Red Podcast says, job done. Exactly. Look, people, there's 260 of you in here, man. Smash a like in it. Let's get this show on the road. Well, we're on the road, but you know what I mean? People are talking about Klopp's comments. Let us know, because we're obviously on live. He's turned 18. Okay, fair enough. No problem. He's turned 18, but yeah, it's harsh to talk about him. Someone on the other spectrum whose time's up, and it kind of shows Oxlade-Chamberlain didn't make an impact, but survived. No changes at half time. I think he was always going to give them another 15, 20 minutes. Let's see if we can raise it. And I think we did kind of raise it. Oxlade-Chamberlain is much better in the second half. Carvalho's more active. There's a bit more pace in our passing, right, in the second half. We realized that we need to increase the speed of our passing, because this derby, did they see our lineup, people? Like, did they know we're playing literally under 21s here with a couple of seniors? How did they come to probably their biggest game in years, right, to Anfield and play like that? Did you guys see that goalkeeper? I'm so happy that it took a penalty shootout to shut him up and go home, tail between his legs. He really thought that was his night today. From the minute that he jumped on the pitch, time wasting from every corner. Do you know he was doing the old Pickford shit? He was winding me up, people. I was ready to swing at him if I ever have the chance to meet him. This guy was making me mad. Or was it only me, Noor?
No. It was definitely. I was like, I got frustrated around the 70th minute with him, and also quickly with his penalty save, it should have been retaken. The guy came out of his line. Like,
we're gonna get there. Sod that was already wound me up as well. You're right, but in general time wasting, you could see like Derby were playing this 4-5-1. Literally not coming out, and then and therefore our kids didn't have much space to work with. So it was frustrating for them, because I feel as though if they came out, we could have played a bit more. We'd had a bit more space. Yeah.
It was kind of surprising and shocking that he went for that tactic, but maybe because he got scared of the Anfield factor, so he thought let's try and quiet Liverpool up, and if we play defensive, we may. They play for the penalty shootouts, and
100%. Yeah.
And because there's no extra time or anything, they thought, let's just do it and try and win it like that. And I was confident. I go, you guys to the penalties. I'm telling you, you lot ain't. If you lot was this scared to play a 90-minute game, penalties you won't survive. You ain't gonna have the cojones or the mentality to deal with a penalty shootout.
we have actually got. Go easy on Wildsmith. He's my second cousin. If he is, Clarence, if he is, have a word, mate. Have a bloody word with him. Tell him, come on, man. That's not how you enjoy a night at Anfield. Do you know what I mean? That's gonna, you know, I mean, he could have gone.
I don't know, Grizz.
You like the shake house ring? You embraced it.
Nah, I kind of expected them to do it. I'm not a fan of it, but do what you got to do to win.
I get it. I get it. Especially if we had 2 or 3 big boys in the team. Even we didn't have no one. Ram, come on! Like you look at that team and you think, you know what? We could press these. We could pressurize these. A bunch of kids out here, literally a bunch of kids. Because are they going to win the League Cup?
No. I don't know.
No, Derby. No, come on. Derby are getting knocked out in the next round.
Probably.
So,
yeah.
so be here. Go out with guns blazing. Enjoy your night. Play football. They tried to make this. I don't know, man. Against kids.
Try and make a name for yourself at Anfield. Like there's people watching, bro.
I think the opportunities that they had, and they were like, yeah.
Well, there you go.
Score.
He's a bit of an arsehole. Even his mum hates him. Yes. Get in.
I kind of understand why they did it, but it's like
you're mad.
I don't like it, but
no. So, no, you do like it. So basically, what you're saying is, if you're a young coach taking a team to Anfield in the first round of the League Cup against the holders, you see a bunch of kids and you're still going to play. You know what? Let's keep fouling them, keep halting the play, break up the play. You're going to turn into Mourinho in the League Cup for the first round playing against kids.
Look, as I said, these guys, they can't match us, even if it's technical ability.
Kids, McGoldrick, they had a few players that have played in the Premier League, I believe.
Yeah, they do. But again, I don't want to be. No, you know what? I have no affiliation to Derby. My dad supports Forest. I don't really give a crap about that.
I thought there's an affiliation the way you're going on. I thought I'm waiting for an affiliation. No, I'm waiting for a link. I thought there's a link coming here.
No, look, they are a small club. And going up against Liverpool, the stand is night and day. So I kind of expected them to do it. Do I like it? No, I don't like it. Especially if Pickford does it, I get mad. But it's the case of do what you got to do to win. But I wasn't too bothered about it because I still thought we had enough to win the game. I did. I'm like, sooner or later we're gonna get a goal and we're gonna win. So yeah, it is what it is. They didn't end up winning, so the last half we get, they don't.
Guys, this is a shambolic ratio. Come on. Let's quickly get to 200 likes, please. You know what I mean? Come on, big up yourselves and everyone in the chat. There's Cav. I wanted to touch upon him, guys. One of the youngsters that we haven't touched on. So look, Bobby Clark, you know, I thought he's good on the ball. Just too lightweight. Yeah, our kids need to get in the gym, right? Our kids do need to get in the gym. There's not much.
If they get to the gym, they'll be sorted, man.
There's not much meat on them, man. They're like, and this one, Frandorf is right. Cav's right. Sorry, got Frandorf, guys. I thought he was a bit skillful in the moments. He could have had a bright future. 18 looks 45 though.
Yeah, you know what? That's spot on. But yeah, with the kids having like putting on muscle, like this is a little bit of my background because I was a strength and conditioning coach, and for kids you got to be careful because they're growing and you can't overload them. Like I was helping at that. I didn't do full time or anything, but I was at Leyton Orient, and Leyton Orient we had the academy there, and you can never push them too far because these guys are still growing and their number one priority is football. So it's a like their program is not to put on crazy muscle. Their program is to survive the season, and as when the growth spurts stop, that's when the muscle and start and the real gym work will start happening for them. So the kids, they're gonna always be skinny. Like you saw the difference between when Trent came into the team and the way Trent is now. If you put a side by side, you'll see a massive difference. And that's all they do is just wait for you to stop growing. Once that happens, then they start to give you the proper program in the gym.
Good point. Trent, we saw when he came into the team, Stevie G when he first appeared on the team. A lot of these kids are like that. Zuberi's in the building. Sorry, I'm late to the party. Got new members to the family today. Yo, big up, man. Congratulations, man.
Big up, man.
Amazing, amazing. Pick up yourself. Zuberi, of course, is going to be part of my channel moving forward. People have grown to like him with his wild, crazy takes. Kelleher is a baby tarantula, he says. There you go. And I'm thinking of my name for my Vinegaroon. What's a Vinegaroon, people?
Is it wine room?
No. So, okay, well, let us know. Zuberi messaged me private or something. This game got me buzzing for the final. Quad, hashtag you never walk alone, hashtag love. There you go. There you go. Zuberi is thinking about the final already. You know, he's mad. But congratulations from everyone in the chat, everyone on the panel. Big up yourself. Exactly, man. Amazing, amazing. Good news. Hope to speak to you very, very soon. But let us know what a vine, I think it's one of his pets, in it. I think he's got this weird pets.
He has a snake or something. Yeah, I heard he had some sort of.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's
if I
what
see
it
a
is.
snake, I'm running.
Snake or
it's
either a snake or a panther or some mad weird.
There you go. Animal. Some sort of spider.
Okay.
I like it. People, coming up to 300 now. People rolling in. Smash the like button. Here we go. The game. Look, I guess the show we get into the show now, because just like the game, it didn't really. Nothing happened until the 65th minute when he makes a triple substitution. People, who does he bring on? He brings on Núñez, Firmino, and Elliott for expected Frandorf, Stewart, and Clark. That's when we really thought, all right, let's finish it now. Let's get that goal, because all it was one goal job. We needed to get that one goal, and they weren't going to come out. They came on, and instantly, Núñez not so much, but Bobby and Elliott's touches just put a little smile on what was a very dull game. But I thought, a little bit of Jogger Bonito almost, man.
It took them about 15 seconds to really get stuck into it. That's when you know, here's the quality that we've been looking for. Especially Elliott. As soon as he came on, just started to create some stuff, put some beautiful balls into the box. Shame he didn't get his goal. It was a great movement getting into the box. No one tracked him, but one of them saves in it. But we move. But yeah, probably everyone barring Darwin Núñez really turned it on. I think Darwin Núñez didn't really get going, didn't really see enough of the ball. When he did get the ball, he was either offside or he was either tried to do something and it just didn't work. So we'll give him that bye. But yeah, I think both of them, when they came on, they really made their presence known to the Derby players. I think they got shook. They got incredibly shook and moved a couple of yards back. Because
even more deeper. If it was possible, they even went more deeper, which made it obviously, as a result, more difficult for us in terms of getting behind them. But as you said, we still did. That probably the highlight, or one of the highlights of the game for me, one of the highlights was Ox's pass to Elliott, who makes a lovely deep run. Noor, this kid is growing on me massively. Like, of course, you know, he's still young again. But Harvey Elliott is showing maturity. Shall I tell you what I loved? And I guess we can come on to it in terms of, I love the responsibility that he felt that he needed to bring. He felt like, I'm a first teamer here. I'm coming on. Klopp summoned me, how Klopp summons the big guns. So right now, in the squad that we've got together today, I'm one of the big guns. I need to go out there and play like a big gun. I love that about him.
Yeah, you know what? He's got
Rax in the building. Sorry, I'm so sorry. No, Rax in the building as well.
Welcome. The only issue I have with Elliott, and I'm going to dampen your enthusiasm, Grizz.
Okay.
Is when usually you have like a midfielder that's with his type of physicality, then they should excel in either speed, and he doesn't have that. He doesn't have the height or physicality to hold off the people, or something like a Thiago, a little hybrid where he can control the game, but also he's very good at tackling, getting the ball off players. And those three elements that's just lacking in his game at the moment give me a lot of concern for the future. Is he going to be in Klopp's plans in 2-3 years, or is he just being used now to see where can he go? And for me, I'm not convinced yet. I'm not convinced about Elliott. In the beginning, I was, if it was a wide guy, but I don't know. He's not giving me a lot of confidence.
Let's have a mini debate, because we're obviously still need to talk about a couple of things. This is probably a whole show in itself. World Cup's coming. We'll have loads of shows like this. Let's have a mini debate about this, because I shared that opinion about 6 months ago, 6 months to a year ago. I was on that massively. I didn't see where he would fit into a Jurgen Klopp type team. Jurgen Klopp's teams are pace, power, aggression. Even his forwards have always been. Bobby's the outlier. The rest, even Sadio and Mo, are all about pace, power, aggression, efficiency. But then he bought Thiago. Then he wanted Naby. Other way around. And then he saw something in Elliott and put him in that 8. I'm going to give my opinions on him as well, but Ram and Rax, welcome to the stream. You're so smart. You knew we were going to talk about the first 60 minutes, which was a non-event, so you thought, sod that. When it gets exciting, I'll come in for the exciting part. Big up yourself. But we've just come on to the 60 minutes when we make those 3 subs. Elliott comes on and instantly just livens up proceedings with his 1-touch, 2-touch, spatial awareness and everything. But Noor said he wants to put a dampener on it because he's not sure what Elliott is right now. And I get it and I understand it as well. What's your mini debate on him?
Noor has put a dampener on it, man. And look, I'm a big Harvey Elliott fan. We don't know where he could get to.
This is it.
I'm enjoying watching him play. He's a smart player, man. The thing that's always struck me about Elliott is he takes the ball on the half turn. He doesn't always make the right decision, but for a young player of his age, he generally tends to make the right decision. He's not super efficient in terms of scoring. You know, the physical attributes that Noor mentioned, sure, he does lack some of those, but I think what he makes up with it is movement, touch, and just being smart. And you know, he's never going to be the most physical player. He's never going to be the quickest player. That's fine. But a lot of the greatest players in history haven't always had those attributes. And I'm not saying that Harvey Elliott can get to that level or not, but I really enjoy watching him play. I think he it's difficult to cover that Henderson role because he hasn't got that engine. But he has more grace. And for me, visually as a player, I enjoy watching Harvey Elliott play more than I enjoy, for example, Jordan Henderson play.
Just before you go again, Noor, I know you want to come back, but wait your turn, yeah? Wait your turn. You've started this debate now. You've stung a few opinions, I think. But Shane says first full season he's a player, he needs time. He's a kid.
Yeah.
He's
not even 23. He's 20 next year.
But before Noor comes back, Ram, very quickly, because we've got to move on, unless you guys want to chill. If you want to chill, I'm here. Let's chill, no problem. Let's speak on Elliott, because it is a debate. It's a very interesting debate, because I had that opinion 6 months to a year. I feel as though I was harsh and I was too rash in making that assessment and opinion, but that was as a right winger. I must defend my opinion as well. No one else is going to defend your opinion. You've got to defend it yourself. I judged him as a right winger in terms of a Mo understudy. I said he'll never be a Mo understudy, in my opinion. But this new 8, or going forward, another in a 4-4-2, when he's got further forwards ahead of him, I see something, and I like what I see.
The first few games of last season, when he was starting, when he was putting in those good performances, he was playing in a midfield role, similar to what he was doing now. And I think that's when he first captured a lot of Liverpool fans' imagination. That's certainly first times I didn't watch him play for the youth team or for Blackburn or whatever. You know, that was the first time I laid eyes on him since he played those odd few games for Fulham at the end of the other season when he was playing for Fulham.
Do you know what it is? I just want to put it out there. A couple of people have mentioned a few names, right? People in the chat are mentioning Silva. People are mentioning Bernardo Silva, or David Silva. People have mentioned a few other players in there as well, right? He's 19. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free, guys, and someone in the chat. I want to know, were the 2 Silvers yeah, or any other youngster of that profile of player playing at the level of club football that this guy is playing at 19 in a team coached by a coach of the caliber of Klopp, the demands of a coach like Klopp. We've competed for every single trophy at the highest level, and he seems to be a prominent member of Klopp's thinking. I may be wrong. David Silva may have been balling out at 19 and the other Silva and players of his profile. But sorry, go on. You want to come in, Ram?
So on David Silva was playing at Valencia, and I think I might be wrong, but I think they were
19.
I think so at Valencia.
People in the chat,
I might
go check this stat out. I want to check this out. At 19, David Silva was playing for Valencia, probably, but I'm not sure if he was playing. Yeah.
I mean, the great Valencia teams were the Rafa, but Rafa and what's his name, Pellegrini.
No, Silva was prominent in that team. I do remember because that's why he was bought. We love
because he played with David Villa, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Him and David Villa, and what's his name? Is it Geyser? Is it? Am I pronouncing his name?
No. It was oh man, my mind's gone blank. The guy who played for Madrid, Middlesbrough, Madrid.
Guys Mendieta.
Him. Yeah.
Ruben Baraka, that team, elite team. David Villa, Ruben Baraka, Guys Mendieta. Here we go. Kieran says he was on loan to Celta Vigo. He was on loan at certain Vigo, I'm sure he means Celta
Vigo. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd say Bernardo was at Benfica at the time, and we all know the expectations of a Benfica player got to win your league, and you have
Juan Mata, another example. No pace, no strength, no visible, but so technically and so intelligent.
Oh no, but Grizz, I disagree with the pace, because when he was younger, he was quite quick. He wasn't Mata. He wasn't incredibly quick, but he was still. He wasn't a slouch. He was pretty quick.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I don't think anyone would say pace was one of his better attributes, even when he was young. People, he had pace of a youngster. Elliott's got a pace of a youngster. There's a difference between having a pace of like sort of when you're young and you can run.
The thing is, like these players that we're mentioning, they all ended up being great players, and we're not saying Harvey Elliott can definitely get there.
Of course, that we need to make that clear before people jump on it and say certain. Yeah, people they were comparing him to Silva. No, we're comparing.
He could be like an Iked Munwain. If anyone remember how good Munwain was when he was a kid, and he could end up like that.
And to be fair, I don't think you're not writing him off. You're saying you've got doubts. It's fair to have doubts, just like it's fair to think that potentially he could improve and be maybe a very good player.
No, I think the criticism of Harvey Elliott, I think some of the criticism, I still give him time, because once you hit sort of Curtis Jones' age, this is why I have a lot more criticism for Curtis Jones than I do have for Harvey Elliott. I think once he hit that 2021 mark, you need to show something about you that would be like, you can play at this level. That's why I say, give him a little bit more time, let him grow, let him develop physically, and then be like, 2021, you need to show a little bit of something about you if you want to be at that level. That's my view about it.
Yeah, like I don't want anyone to misconstrue what I'm saying. Is
exactly. Can you make yourself clear before you get bombarded?
What I'm saying, I like.
Still speak your opinion.
I like Elliott, and I like exactly what Rack and everyone likes about him. How I even broke down why Klopp prefers him to Henderson in certain games. It's because he gives you a little bit more control. When him, Thiago, and Fabinho, rather than Henderson, who sometimes plays the hot potato that Grizz is talking about. However, what I'm saying is, when you hit the age of 24, 25, and I'm thinking, is he gonna have the full package? And all I'm thinking is, I can see him developing into a Gundogan style player.
Yes.
However, that's why I want to see a little bit more from, like, he looks good. He's doing nice, neat passes, but I want to see a little bit more, aggression to do something about it. Like, score goals, assist. These things I need to see a little bit more of to be convinced.
So sorry because we've got so much to get through, but I get it. There's a wicked debate, and I get it. Rax is spot on that no one knows if he's going to reach the levels of the players that we've spoken about. But all we can do is work with the evidence that we have in front of us and the proof, and then also then compare it to players of the ilk that we're comparing him to when they were at that age and what level they were playing at and what pressure games were they living at in terms of club football. Right now, we're playing at the highest level of club pressure football. Champions League, Premier League, fighting with one of the best teams of all time in history in Man City, week in, week out, the pressure on, and he's getting picked and selected for a reason. I think he's showing a different style to his game and approach to his game, and I think he's developing. I think he's developing far quicker than Curtis Jones, but I don't want to open up a can of worms because Curtis Jones didn't play today. So exactly, but you can see that how this debate started. Rax was, I think I mentioned the way he came on and took on the responsibility of trying to inject pace into this team where he thought he's one of the big boys being brought on, because he was brought on with a club record signing and Bobby Firmino. So he felt that responsibility. And I like the way he took that on. Bobby Firmino, lovely little cameo, people. Started making chances now. We start getting into the game. We think we're going to break him down. But this annoying keeper, Ram, he was annoying, but he was pulling off a couple of saves. And that save, it was half fluky, but you got to rate him, where Ox plays that ball through to Elliott, who makes, again, another attribute that he's going to work on, making runs from deep. He should have scored, and that would have been a lovely goal.
Yeah, that keeper reminded me of Pickford.
Oh, so much.
The amount of times, not only about the time wasting, but also just makes up these random saves where he's like, why are you saving that? You shouldn't be saving that. You're not that good. But fair play to him. That's all I got to say. Fair play. You made the save. You made yourself big, and you got a hand. Hand was strong enough. I don't want to be critical on Harvey Elliott. I think he couldn't have done any more. I think it was one of them balls. He couldn't strike it as powerfully as he could because it would have gone into row Z, most likely. But it's just a decent save. That's all I've got to say. I can't say anything else. I can't be harsh on Elliott. It's just one of them.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those ones where he could have took a touch and then hit it, but he decided to try to guide it in with his right foot. Bobby has a header saved as well that he could have done better with. He makes again great keeping.
Cool.
No, am I here?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah,
sorry, guys. Yeah, just take over if my Wi-Fi's bugging, man. I should have, must have cancelled the Wi-Fi. But Ben Doak was the guy that I've been sort of just keep repeating, Rax. I keep talking about Ben Doak. I'm going to keep speaking into oblivion about this guy. So many youngsters have come in and we speak about them. The Ryan Brewsters, the Musolowskis, Ben Woodburn, and so many in the past. And so many have come and gone.
Who followed Harvey to Blackburn? What's his name?
Leighton Clarkson.
That's right.
Ovie Ejaria.
That's right. So no one is going overboard except me. I'm going overboard. I'm going to go overboard about two players, and I'm going to stick by it, and I'm going to die on this hill. You missed the chat about Calvin Ramsay, so you don't get a say in it for being late. But you get a full timepiece on Ben Doak. To me, this guy, he's just turned 17. 17. And he came on and he lit up Anfield for the quick 10, 12 minutes he was there. I'll speak on Ben Doak.
So I don't really watch the youth teams play. I don't really watch. But I've heard about him. You know, he has been talked about in the sphere, Liverpool sphere. You know, if you check out some of the forums and things like that. And so I was intrigued to get my first look at him. And what a first look! I mean, he's got all the.
He's 17 tomorrow. He's not even 17. He's 16.
Oh, 16.
Guys, when we start talking about people what they were doing at 16, apart from Lionel Messi, who was a freak of nature, right? What was 16? I mean, anyway, sorry, Rax. I can't help
Hey, Grizz, can I go one further? I'm going to go one further. He wasn't even born when we won the Champions League in 2005.
Oh, wow. But go on, Rax, carry on.
I was just very impressed with what I saw. I don't want to say too much because at the same time I've only seen him for those few minutes, and we've seen young players.
Yeah, I get it.
We mentioned them, but the few minutes that I saw looked very impressive. He looked technically switched on, and I think as a young player, up for the fight is the most aggressive, and that's what you want to see from young players because that shows they've got the mentality to step in Anfield. This is not playing away from home at an opposition ground which may be half full or whatever. He's made his full home debut, and he impressed me. He definitely impressed me. Perhaps I'm underselling it, but yeah.
No, but you're fine too. I get where you're coming from because of the history of blowing up youngsters, right? In terms of
you know what, a lot of people have been on at our youth system of late. You hear it in spaces, and you hear a lot of people talking about it on Twitter and saying we don't produce them. And to some degree, they have a point, but at the same time, I don't want to position this guy as the great white hope in inverted commas, and put too much pressure on his shoulders. Let the guy develop. Let him slowly but surely progress, and then who knows? Sky's the limit. Hopefully.
Do you know very quickly about the academy and our youngsters? Do you know we've churned out again another show for another debate? Do you know how much money our academy's made us? Okay, we'll have a debate on that. Anyone that wants to bring up that our academy and hasn't been successful, mate, I'm ready to have a debate anytime. It's not all about having Steven Gerrard's. Which fucking academy brings out Steven Gerrard's every season, or Trent Alexander-Arnold's or every season, or Robbie Fowler's every season? I've just named you 3 of the last 20 years. Every 5-6 years, gems come through, But anyway, that's another debate. We digress. Kieran, I like this shout. I like this comparison. There's been some wicked comparisons for the players. He says Doak is the new Kanchelskis. I think he's two-footed. I don't think Kanchelskis was two-footed. That's the only thing I will say about that comparison. Kanchelskis was very one-footed. This guy can come in right foot, left foot, mate. You know what we were talking about in terms of Elliott's doesn't look like the profile of a Klopp attacker? This guy has the profile of a Klopp attacker.
Is in terms of aggression. Left-footed?
You tell me, bro.
Because this is my point. Because when he was running, he was running on his left, but then he was using his right. So I was like, which one is he actually decent at? And it's very, very, very good. I am a sucker for players that have two-footed. I don't like, if you're one-footed, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. But if you're two-footed, I am a massive fan. And if you have some skills and you like to express yourself, that's even further, that's even a great thing.
Ram, you got to make a distinction. There's one-footed, then you're decent with the other foot, your weaker foot, and then there's, I don't know what foot this guy is, and this is where he falls into. Like I watched a couple of the the Champions League version for the under 23s.
Yeah, he's been revelation in that. Revelation.
The guy, I'm telling you, I've watched a lot of youth football, but when I see someone like him, and that's why I was very interested to see how he'll play in today's game, like senior football. And when I saw his cameo, just he when he did the skill, the first skill, and then he went past the player and he was supposed to cross it in with his right foot, and it just went all wrong.
He fell over, basically. Yeah. And you think that could finish a kid.
That's
he fell over.
I wanted to see his reaction. The next thing I saw, he got up and he was demanding the ball. Give me the ball. And I thought, yeah. No, this guy is confident, 100% bravery. He's 100% confident. And I guarantee you, if you was one of his close friends, he'll be like, I should be playing in the first team. That's what he'll be thinking in his head. I should be at least on the bench for Liverpool in most games. And that's what you want.
Did you see the way Elliott picked up an understanding with him? Elliott, Ramsay, and Doak on that side was, I'm telling you, that was a little glimpse of the future.
Because
Wait, did you see that though? The little triangles they created.
Grizz,
Especially Calvin and Ben Doak, that little Scottish connection between one another. It's just
all great Liverpool teams. All great Liverpool teams of the past had a Scottish backbone in terms of not when I mean backbone, but a spine throughout, full of great Scots.
Well, the greatest team had a Scottish backbone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you think about all the great Scottish players that have come through, obviously Robbo, but you're looking back to Steve. Was it Steve? No, Steve Ryan wasn't. But
Dalglish, Souness, Hansen, Nicol. Come on, the list is endless, man. We're talking great. Robertson as well now. Yeah, exactly. He gets into that category. Robertson for me is in that category.
Yeah.
I don't care anyone. Robertson is in that category of legendary Scots that played for Liverpool. 100%. 100%.
Do you know what it is, Grizz? Do you remember when you said that that Salah took what is it in
Elliott under his wing?
Under his wing, yeah.
You see
the reason that happens is usually because players are impressed with a player. When they see they're like, this guy's a real deal. And so they're like, I need to make sure that he goes the right path and don't waste the talent that I'm seeing right now. And Doak is like that. Game recognizes game. And so
100%.
That's why Elliott. I'm so excited for this guy. To be honest, I don't want
to check these stats out. 4 goals and 4 assists in 6 UEFA Champions League youth appearances.
Yeah. No,
you're playing some of the cream of Europe, man. It's not like under 23 Northern League that you're playing and you're running up in sort of playing Grimsby under 21s. You know what I mean? And you're just stat padding.
Yeah,
and that includes the conveyor belt of great Dutch players, Ajax. If you're doing that against teams like Ajax's academy, Napoli, they produce a good crop of players. You got to have something about you. You got to have something about you to do it against your peers that are 100%. The same age and have the great tutelage that they have at these clubs. It's got to say something.
And he's 16 when he's doing all this, people. He's 16.
Grizz, you know more about him than I. Does he play for Scotland under 21s or under 19s?
And he scored on his debut
under 21s.
Yeah, under 21s he's playing for at the age of 16.
Oh wow.
But listen, he's good, but he didn't assist or score. so you know what I mean, we put him to the side for now. As I said, the Nunes factor didn't really kick in. He looked a bit lost. Ox tried to raise it. We didn't get. It was like a siege to their goal, but we didn't score. Goes to penalty shootout. They win the toss, right? And we get to take penalties at the Anfield Road end. And this goalkeeper, no.
What is going on there?
No, what is going on with this goalkeeper? So he time wasted from the minute 5 all the way to the end, pretended he's got a shoulder injury because he knew that all the eyes and the camera of the world is going to be on him because they know penalties is coming out. So he's trying to get everyone's attention by doing that Pickford bullshit, time wasting, pretending he's got a shoulder injury, and then he goes off and make sure he's the last person to come back on the pitch. You know, for the penalties, after the talk's done, they go to the end and everyone's waiting for this keeper. Like, this geezer has some serious insecurities. He wants all the attention.
You know what, though? He's got balls, man.
I get it.
It's shithousery. It is shithousery. And
Ram praised it. Ram praised it early on.
No. I didn't praise it. I understand it, but I don't like it.
Ram praised it, and then we've got his cousin in the chat. Make yourself known again. The goalkeeper, I can't remember his name, but we've got someone in his chat who was his second cousin, and he says he's actually hated in the family. His own mum hates him. He's actually a bit of a no. So, but I can tell. I'm not gonna lie, I can tell. He'd be one of those guys that I would. You know what I mean? I would just bully him at family.
Just like
gatherings.
the annoying kid in the family.
Yeah, no, I'm not annoying. I'd bully him. I'd bully him at family gatherings. But look, you're right, Rax. You have to be that kind of extrovert, mad goalkeeper, and especially when you know a penalty shootout is about to take place, and you can only be a hero. You can't be a zero when you're a goalkeeper. You're not expected to save it. He saves that first penalty, but what the fuck was that first penalty? Like, how was that allowed?
Nah, I got pissed at the linesman and the referee. I'm like, that's your job. That's your job.
He's
There's no VAR.
Right there. He's standing on the line, looking. He's at one job.
I don't know. Do you know what made me even more angry? Because they knew he went off his line, and they were like, "I'll give you a warning. That's it." It's like that's not the rules. You're meant to tell them to retake it.
That's exactly what pissed me off more than anything, that he did it. The linesman knew that this guy went off his line like in a major way. It's not even in a little way, in a major
way. Major.
Yeah. And he had the audacity not to call it back, but to say, don't do it again.
Don't do that again. Make that make sense, Rex. That doesn't make sense, because don't do it again means you've committed what's the word? Infringement.
Foul. Basically a foul.
Yeah.
And you know what? Don't do it again could mean knocking the other team out of the competition. We could have been out, right? If things didn't improve and go our way later on.
What does that mean? Don't do it again. That means don't do it again because I'll call you up for it. That means I should have called you up for it. That means there was an infringement, but I'll let it go. But
Grizz, that's not the first time he did it. He did it a couple of times where he's like, just don't do it again. Don't do it. I'm like, you know what? I just got annoyed with the referee. I was like, let's leave it. We just hope Queeve can do something. And turns out he ends up, you know what? This is gonna sound mad, yeah. But he learns from the best.
No, you've said some mad things tonight anyway, so this might not sound that mad. But go on.
He learns from the best. His first team goalkeeper, Alisson Becker, is arguably one of the best penalty savers in the world. Who's the best person to learn from? Alisson Becker. I'm not surprised he does that, man. I'm really not. Because he's shown it last season where he saved against Leicester. He's shown it last season against, he didn't save any against Chelsea, but that's by the by. I think it's something about our goalkeeping coaches. They just have a knack of just telling our goalkeepers to save penalties. It's just like that. I don't know how, I don't know why, but they're just very good at saving penalties.
So I was at his debut, Milton Keynes, on a Wednesday night. I went to watch them against Milton Keynes. He played. Milner was right back in that game, captain. This was about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
3 to 4 years ago.
2018-19, I think.
Yeah, we won. I think Brewster scored that day. I can't remember now.
No, sorry, 2019-20. It was 2-0. I think Keanu Hoover scored that game as well, didn't he?
Yes. He played in that game as well.
Yeah.
And it was pouring down with rain, and I looked at this keeper and I thought, okay, he's making a keeper. Guys, I turned around to my mate and I said, this guy is going to be a class keeper. He said, oh, come on. What do you mean? Like, what? Like, he made a couple of saves, you know what I mean? Whatever. But shall I tell you what stuck out? And still, you can see it. He's ice cold. In a goalkeeper, one of the biggest traits, or one of the main traits of a goalkeeper, has to be ice cold, veins, cool, calm, collected. He has all of that in abundance. And Ram, I get what you're saying about learning from the best, but I love the way both of them are so calm under pressure. We never see Alisson go mad and wild and lose, even though he makes mistakes on the ball. And I don't rate Alisson on the ball as highly as maybe others do. I think his distribution with his feet is like long ball distribution from his hands is second to none. But on the ball, he's very, very, very
risky.
Grizz, you're breaking me, mate. You're breaking me right now.
It's facts. Ram. Oh, he's shaky. He's shaky.
No way.
He's one of those. He's one of those. He thinks he's Brazilian, but you know what I mean. Don't.
No, Grizz. No.
You know what it is? Ram. You got to be honest here. You know when he dilly dallies on the ball,
he means it.
Yeah, he means it. You're telling me your heart doesn't skip a beat?
No, I just expect it now. I expect it. He just wants to bring the pressure so he can give it to.
I've realized after 7 minutes into the stream when you started cussing Ramsay, saying that you was pissed off with his. I realize you're heartless, so you're heartless. Yeah, your heart didn't skip a beat because you're heartless. There's no heart there to skip a beat. How's his heart going to skip a beat when he's heartless?
That's my guy. Yeah. That is my guy. If there's
he's all our guys. We love Alisson, man. Alisson is the greatest goalkeeper in our lifetimes for Liverpool.
Yeah.
But to say that he's not as good as, for example, Ederson is with his feet. there's no.
But Edison ain't a
criticism.
goalkeeper, man. He's a midfielder. I don't count that. I don't count that. I'm sorry. No.
But back to Kelleher. It's the Kelleher Cup move. This guy he's so calm, he's so cool, he's so elegant. And as a goalkeeper, that's saying something. Not many keepers have an elegance about them. Do you get what I mean by that? This guy looks elegant whilst in goal. Another guy that I think, here's my hot and wild take, and this might be a dampener come to the end of the show. I think we're going to struggle to keep hold of him.
I was going to say the same thing.
Probably, yeah. But
I think he knows how good he is. And I think the problem is he's up against Alisson, who's arguably the best goalkeeper in the world. And he's not going to go for another, 31, 30? He's not going to go for another 7 seasons. And he will be around about 29, 30. So that's not. He needs game time to be a top quality keeper and reach the potential that we know he's good at. He's going to get. So it's a sad thing. I really don't want him to go because I want Liverpool to do well, and he's such a valuable asset. But for the betterment of his career, I think making a move for himself, it'll probably be good for him. Yeah. But do we want to see it? Absolutely not. He's a quality goalkeeper, he's a quality lad, but it's up to him at the end of the day.
Yeah, one thing is, I'll admit, that same game that you said that you rated him, Grizz, is the same game that I kind of writ him off. I was like, I don't see a presence here. You called it, like, this is what I like about perspective sometimes. And people actually that go to the game and watch it in live right there have a better perspective. But from TV, he looked like he wasn't commanding enough. He looked like a young naive goalkeeper. But then obviously what happened last season when he got the chance to play throughout the whole of the Carabao Cup and some stints where Alisson wasn't available, you saw that. For me, I rate him like on the ball better than Alisson. I'm calm when Kelleher has got the ball. I'm not afraid when Kelleher.
He's far better. He's far better than Alisson on the ball. Far better.
Yeah. For me,
Kelleher is an actual football player. Do you know that, innit? He played up front throughout all his boyhood. And Ram, I get it. You've got an affection and an affiliation with Alisson that is like no other, it seems. Like, even though we think and Alisson is amazing, Kelleher's on a different level to that.
But what Ram said is true. You know what you said? He learned from the best. If you look at the first penalty save he saved today, and look at the last or the type of penalty saves that Alisson makes, it looked identical. He just waits. When you're about to kick, he leans and goes. And I thought, that looked exactly like Alisson's movement. And I was like, whoa, that's kind of like that hit me as the first thing that hit me when he saved that. I was like, whoa, has he been learning from Alisson to save these penalties? Because it's completely different to the way he saved the penalties last year. It was against Leicester. This year he looked more calm, waits until that very last second to move, to put that doubt in the guy that's taking the penalty, and that final penalty he saved. Wow.
It is. I mean, Rax, what do you do with Kelleher? There's going to be a decision to make, because as the other guys have said, Alisson's still fairly young for a keeper. He's only getting better, it seems, kind of thing. Kelleher is at that age where, he doesn't deserve to be a number 2. Yeah, what do you do?
He needs game time, and I think maybe it's a situation where we maybe send him out on loan next season.
Loan at his age, Rax.
I don't think he'd want to learn.
What good will that do for him, do you think?
Well, no, the thing is, this is going to sound selfish, because Ali's going to be number 1. Send him out on loan. Hopefully he performs well, and then we can sell him and get good money for him, because he deserves to play first team football, doesn't he? And although he's highly regarded and we've seen him do well, I think to get really good money, you need to see a season of someone playing first team football to have a that could also work the other way, because he could go and when he's playing regularly, especially if he's playing for someone at the bottom of the Championship, for example, or bottom of the Premier League, that can have a negative effect on their development. But I think that's probably the way that I would do it, just to kind of maximize value, because unfortunately, I don't think he's going to make it in Liverpool just simply because of the presence of Ali, unless something happens. And I know we haven't really talked about it, but perhaps at some point Ali might want another challenge to close out his career. We don't want to talk about it because he just signed a contract, but who knows?
I got a proposition for you guys. I want to steal someone's comment right here. What if we use him for the Bellingham deal? Because Dortmund's goalkeepers aren't at that level. And I think they may want to go in for another goalkeeper just to find the right goalkeeper. Would you use him as leverage to help secure the Bellingham deal?
Well, if there was a case and scenario like that, unless you've got inside information, then that's very unlikely. That's just one of those. Have you just made that up in Football Manager?
It's just from what I've seen, because Dortmund's problem has been goalkeeper for a very, very, very long time.
That doesn't mean they see Kelleher as the answer.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it out there.
Okay, so it's something that you've done on Football Manager and it worked. And so what you're saying is, let's put that into real life. All right. Okay, I get it. But look, I get what you're saying. And if that was a proposition, or if that was not even a swap or not even part of a deal, but if it meant Kelleher, we could sell Kelleher, because I don't know. How much are we looking, Kelleher, in the current market?
20.
More.
Without a season of consistent football, I don't know. I know we got 20 million for Brewster, but Brewster had been playing. I don't know. Maybe I'm.
You play that.
Guys, smash us some figures quickly. Let everyone give their opinions. How much we're looking for Kelleher? I'm saying minimum 20. You lot are stuttering. I don't get it. Why are you lot stuttering?
20. Like, we're in a recession now, isn't it?
Oh man, what
I'm saying 15 is good money.
Whoa,
okay, that's a little bit low.
For someone who hasn't played first team football for us, over the course of a season, I don't.
But would you say it's a good thing that a goalkeeper that doesn't play a lot of football but still pulls off these great performances?
Guys, look at these figures coming through, man.
50 million.
No, 50. Not 50.
I'm telling you, man, at 28 to 30, I probably 27 to 30. I'm talking 25 million people. I agree with this, man. Keepers are. This is right. Great keepers are rare. Rams probably right. Like, a lot of great teams are missing great keepers. This guy's shown.
Danny Ward was 10 million to Leicester. He wasn't 18 million.
Okay, so but let's who?
He's better than Danny Ward.
Liam's mentioned 18 million, and
he's much better than Danny Ward, man.
Sure.
How much was Ramsdale?
35.
Was it 35?
They got relegated.
And you're saying this guy's 12 million was for Ward. Yeah, he's right. 12 million. And you're saying Kelleher hasn't shown the potential and ability to be half of Ramsdale's price?
Maybe we can put a buyback clause.
20 million minimum that is the asking price. But anything over, then I'm happy to take it. But I think for me, do you know why I'm a little bit more hopeful that we will be all right? I kind of like Harvey Davis.
I like him a lot. And again, he's magnificent with the ball at his feet. It's a
trait.
Okay,
that I agree.
It's a trait. It's obviously a trait that we look for. Of course, a lot of clubs look for keepers that are comfortable with their feet right now. But we've got quite a few of them. And Harvey is, again, very, very highly thought of. And we're also looking for our Adrian replacement as well, in terms of our third choice, which suggests to me, if we were to get a bid for Kelleher, I would find it hard to. I don't even think it's a bid. I think it's Kelleher's going to have to make the call, and we have to be okay with it, because we're that kind of club.
Two quick comments I've just seen. Red Steve's pretty funny with his comment. That did make me laugh. So big up, Red Steve.
Yeah, it's not the 80s, man.
Yeah, and but MK makes a good point. If we are to sell him, if he doesn't want to go out on loan, then let's try and get a buyback, because who knows?
For sure.
3 years down the line.
That is a very good shout. That is a very good shout. Actually, yeah, 100% could buyback clause. 100%. And I think we're smart enough to do that. Would do that. But guys, look, penalty shootout. I was so glad that keeper didn't have the glory. I wouldn't have been able to get out of my bed for 2 days, because if I got out of my bed, I would be just angry and swinging at people and taking out on family and friends and everything, because that guy wound me up chronic today.
You know what? Cam said that. Are we going to skip Firmino's penalty?
Yes.
I'm never comfortable Firmino taking a penalty. I'm going to put it out there. What do you think of the penalties? So there was different penalties, right? So even Nunes.
Ox was fire penalty.
Nunes, I thought the keeper had got there.
I almost bricked it. I almost bricked it when I saw that. I was like, bro.
But Nunes is actually got an elite record at penalties. He's changed his run up. He's actually brilliant at penalties.
I thought he did smash it.
He's got. Check out his record. Someone in the chat, check out Nunes' penalties record. It's elite levels, and he nearly missed it. Like, he was so nervous, and he took another penalty, didn't he? Didn't he miss one in pre-season or something? Yeah.
He did. I mean, he made his debut, I think it was.
Yeah. You're right, Rax. You're right. I mean, that was crazy. Very quickly, hello, Lazar. Thoughts on Klopp's comments on the sell rumors? Oh, Klopp's. Basically, Klopp said, "I'm here to stay. It's not a shock to us because we knew about it. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Maybe they're not going to be sold. Maybe they're going to look for investment or whatever. But regardless, I'm still here. My commitment is long term," which is what we wanted to hear as the base foundation of anything going forward.
I must admit, I was a bit. We won't know until any new owners come in, because obviously that relationship, that he's got a really strong relationship with Mike Gordon, hasn't he, Jurgen? So whoever comes in to replace the guys at FSG, that relationship will be key. If someone comes in who can't maintain that, then let's not even contemplate that. But good to hear that that's his intention anyway.
Absolutely. 11 out of 11 people. Nunes' penalty record. He's a sick keeper.
Wow.
Sick penalty keeper. Bobby, I'm never comfortable with Bobby taking a penalty, lads. Yeah. I don't know if you want to comment on Bobby's penalty.
I mean, he got lucky against Chelsea.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Mendy should have saved that.
No, but for someone who's so good technically in everything he does, whatever, penalty should be his bread and butter, right?
But isn't Luis Suarez not that great at penalties as well?
Luis Suarez, I was never comfortable taking a penalty as well. I just think he's one of those, he can scuff it anytime.
Yeah. I think his first penalty, he missed it for us, I think, against Sunderland, if I am mistaken. Yes. Yeah.
Shane says, Grizz, heard anything about Steve Ballmer buying us Microsoft Mogul? He is absolutely one of the interested parties, people. Steve Ballmer, there you go, a little bit of an exclusive going on. Steve Ballmer is one of the interested parties in buying Liverpool, the Microsoft Mogul. So keep an eye on that one as well. There's loads. There's about 5-6 parties that are willing to do what they got to do to buy Liverpool. Where, listen, not every day an institution like Liverpool Football Club goes on the market. That's like, wow, how often does something like this go on sale, right, Rax? It's like, which tycoon or billionaire or someone of stature, or even a fan, because there's billionaires that support Liverpool, wouldn't want on their portfolio or on their, even as an ego trip or anything, wouldn't want to be involved in Liverpool Football Club.
Look, if you look in world football, the 5 crown jewels, if you want to call them that, of world football are Liverpool, Manchester United, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Bayern Munich. You can't buy Bayern Munich. You can't buy Real Madrid or Barcelona. The only ones that you could potentially buy are Liverpool and Manchester United. Manchester United isn't for sale.
Liverpool
is.
Yeah. I mean, this is why we've got so much interest, and this is why it's going to be intriguing. As I've said before, it's nervousness, it's excitement, it's apprehension, it's fear, it's positive, it's all of this because we don't know. We don't know. It's the unknowns, isn't it? We're coming to the unknowns. Hicks and Gillette was horrendous, right? But from Moores, we thought, okay, this is something different at the time. So from the Moores era, we thought we're getting into the new age of ownership. We fucking realized that it was an absolute shithole and is a disaster. And then from Hicks and Gillette, we didn't know what Hicks and Gillette, we were desperate for anything and anyone.
Anything was better.
Anything was better than Hicks and Gillette. And so therefore...
we didn't know anything about FSG at the time, right? It was we were like Newcastle to some extent in the sense that we just wanted anybody but H&G. And then...
They talked a good game. They didn't know the game, though. They talked a good game, but they didn't know the game. And they took about 5 years, would you say, guys? 5-6 years of mistakes, errors. People say, oh, FSG never put their money. People have forgotten. They actually put a lot of their money at the start. And that's why they probably got burnt. They gave, I think it was Kenny, 100 million of their money.
Yeah.
But it backfired. They mashed up. They bought Carroll and Downing and Charlie Adam.
It was the, what's it called? Damien Comoli. It was just not the right move.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know who Kamoli did bring in? He brought in Michael Edwards.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
So, you know, even in that dark period in our transfer history, they knew what they had, and it took time for the club to obviously learn from that. But
absolutely, they took 5, 6, 7 years of learning, and now the last 6 years have been amazing. You know, I still cry about the season where we had no centre backs because I think we were primed. We were primed to win that league. We were going to win that league. I was so sure. And then it just suddenly turned to shit. It was an absolute shit fest. And look, small margins, fine margins. Some people call it loser mentality. I call it sport. When you're elite sport, these fine margins happen. And we're just, you know, it is what it is. We could be sitting on 3 league titles and 3 Champions Leagues very easily. But we go again, I guess, and we're going to have to. We've got no choice. I guess we'll end up on a lovely super chat. Thank you very much. Sean Luke says, hi, Grizz, big up. Great work, you lovely legend. Thank you very much. Humbled by that. We're through to the Kelleher Cup round. When's the next? I don't even know. See, this is what I'm saying. I'm not disrespecting it because I had an amazing day at Wembley and the celebrations and the bantering with the Chelsea fans was elite levels. Yeah, I loved slaughtering Chelsea fans every time. So I'm not going to disrespect the Kelleher Cup, but when do we play next? And when's the draw? Anybody know?
21st of December.
Leicester. It's apparently 2 days after the World Cup final.
Yeah.
Imagine you win the World Cup. Yeah, imagine you win the World Cup 2 days later. You could be playing like Burnley away or someone like that. That's
no way.
2 days after the World Cup final. Yeah.
So who we got? Hopefully Leicester. Nunes. Oh, we've been drawn.
I think it's Leicester away.
It's Leicester. Yeah, it's Leicester.
It's been drawn. The draw's been done.
Yeah. Apparently so.
No, man. The draw's next tomorrow.
I saw someone in the comment. Someone in the comment said Leicester out. It was at LCFC and said, it's our place. I don't know. Maybe.
No.
I think they were saying, wasn't it Leicester? After
no, draw is tomorrow, man. I was thinking the draw is tomorrow. Fine. Yeah. I wouldn't have liked that. Bloody hell. Oh, no. He's saying Leicester is the Premier League game.
Yeah.
It's tomorrow. Tomorrow is the draw.
Tasty. But I didn't know that, Rax. So 2 days after the World Cup final, there's a Premier League fixture.
Yeah.
Yep. No, League Cup fixture.
No, the Carabao Cup.
Oh, the Carabao Cup next round fixture. Horrible.
Imagine someone from City, for example, or whoever wins the World Cup. De Bruyne wins the World Cup, could be playing against Burnley away 2 days later.
Even Brazil.
Scenery, right?
Literally, yeah.
He'll be drunk, bro.
Yeah, someone reminded us because there's a couple of big boys out, guys. Are you guys getting a bit? Shall we win it again? Type thing. Shall we go a bit stronger in the leg? Because Chelsea drop out. Who else dropped out? Arsenal. West Ham.
Tottenham.
Spurs as well. What do you reckon, guys? Or it's not priority? I mean, I know it's not priority, but
it does depend on who we get. if we get a relatively lower league team, then I'll feel a little bit comfortable bring some youngsters in. But if we've got a relatively big team, then I'll have to bring in some of the older states people. So ideally, I think if it was me, I would bring in a couple of big hitters because they still need game time, they still need match sharpness, and I think this would be the perfect game for them.
Ones that don't go to the World Cup. Perhaps ones that don't go to the World Cup. Like if Salah, for example, hasn't had a month of football, I can understand why you may play it, give him a few minutes or whatever. But no one who goes to the World Cup, in my opinion, unless Trent doesn't play at the World Cup and England come home in the second round, then again,
yeah, I'd say if you get knocked out of the group stages, then you're eligible to play. If you're in the knockouts, then nah, you're not playing.
Tomorrow, another Premier League drops out team. It's Man United versus Villa. We hope it's Man United, Red Steve says. But another Premier League. That's 5 Premier League teams dropping out of the first round, right? That's the first round.
Yeah. A lot of giant killings today.
We were nearly... Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I'm going to call it a night. There's still over 310 of you guys in here. I hope we've got to about 200 likes. That's the kind of the ratio we're looking for. That would be lovely. If you haven't liked the stream, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. All of that stuff, that's a formality by now. And apart from that, we were nearly on the end of a giant killing, I guess. But it wouldn't have really been a giant killing because we had a bunch of 5-footers playing, if you know what I mean. So... I don't really know if it would have been called a giant killing per se, but you guys know what I mean, and you guys have been amazing. Thank you very much, Noor. Thank you very much, Ram. Thank you very much, Rax. I know you came in at the exciting bit, smart fella that you are. No, you're smart, man. That's what I like. That's what I like about you. You're smart. But this has been the post-match carnage to what could have been carnage if we lost, but we finally pulled through in the end. I'm going to hit an intro because it deserves an intro, and I messed up there. I'm going to play an outro because I mashed up the intro. The intro was wild today. Noor was standing there on his own, like thinking, shit, man. Like, I've only been on his show twice, man. Man's got me talking like to hundreds of people here. What am I saying here, right? You know what I mean? But you was calm like Kelleher, as I said. You was the Kelleher today. People, love, respect. Be out of here. Take care. Bye-bye.